Tired as fuck. I have like 3 of these. I'm gonna have 2 of them today, that's for sure. Little doggo, little troublemaker. In Shreveport, Louisiana. Oh, Shreveport. It's getting close to Texas. All my exes in Texas. That's why I ain't mad in Tennessee. Or whatever the fuck. I only sing that song once ever. Listened to it like once just to figure it out. Did as karaoke. That's it. Beyond that, I just know it as like a meme song. To me, it's a meme. I can like selectively enjoy a song like that sometimes. When normally I usually wouldn't be into shit like that. Spend a night here, tomorrow night here to rest. A little 2-day moment of rest. So how I feel with that. Almost exhausted now. Dude, I feel that. Dude, after all the travel I'm done, you know, and to be frank, with the little amount of sleep that I've had in the last like 24 plus hours, like, yeah, I fucking feel her. Because I'm definitely fatigued this day. To this day, I shall be fatigued. That's why I have coffee. To wake my ass up. Little squirrel over here. Look at that little chomp. Oh my god, it's so fat. It's so fat. 632 miles from home. Honestly, that's a lot closer than I thought. Dude, y'all fucking huffing it, to be honest. Y'all fucking, I mean, if anything, y'all making good time, so. Like, all in all, y'all probably kind of deserve to just kind of rest for a minute. Because low key, I mean, y'all fucking kind of been huffing that shit, from what it seems like. Oh, there's another fat squirrel. Alright, pup. Let's do this one. There. I'll just leave that open. Fuck it. Phone signal here is ass. I mean, to be fair, it is Louisiana. No. All right. Ugh. Boop. There we go. And re-upload. White people here are horrible. I mean, it's the South, my dude. Like, of course they're gonna kind of be horrible. They're incredibly friendly, though. That's something that I've noticed even when I was in Texas for a little bit. Outside of my own family being pretty friendly and shit, like, a lot of, like, you know, the average, like, white person down there is a lot more, like, you know, just kind of keep it with themselves, or their friends or family, whatever the fuck. But not so much to anybody else. I noticed a lot more friendliness and cordialness, and, you know, with the black folk down there, too, because, like, when I was hanging out, like, seeing a movie and going to, like, some of the places to go eat, you know, when I was down there, like, I was having pretty awesome, you know, chill conversations, or, you know, getting compliments of my hat and stuff like that while I was down there, so, which definitely don't really see that much, you know, when it comes to, you know, white people hanging out, like, doing their thing, and then be like, hey, nice hat. You don't hear that. Delicious. Definitely use this as a way to wake me up. Awaken me. Ugh. Made a pilgrimage to a Whataburger. Nice. Hell yeah, dude. There we go. Only to have them fuck up your burger. You know, I mean, I think it, you know, like, it's Whataburger. I think it's one of those things where even if, like, they fuck it up, it's still gonna be kind of good. I mean, it is Whataburger after all. Oh, come on YouTube. Let me search for the shit. Really? So there we go. Really? Come on. What are you doing being a dumb bitch here? Come on. Really doesn't want me to search up anything. Seriously, YouTube. It's about being a dumb prick. I guess it is. Doing karaoke for New Year's. Well, for New Year's, I'm probably going to be going to, like, a little, to a show. Anyway, here, let me do this real quick. Hey, stupid phone, come on. Okay, there we go. I don't know why, but I guess that fixed it. Alright, but, yeah, for New Year's, probably going to be hanging out with my friends for the most part, obviously, and then, you know, kind of go bar hopping, likely. But, chances are that, you know, I'll probably at least, you know, go to a show for a little bit, too, because there's going to be one at another bar in Portland. Can I help you, buddy? What's up? Causing trouble? Where it's like people either love the fuck out of you or fucking hate your guts. Dude, I still am, like, kind of fucking goated up from last night. Like, I mean, because, like, I tried to, you know, hang out and just, you know, chill at the bar and stuff, and then it's like, I mean, the one day after, like, you know, being gone for a fucking week, it's just like, you know, it's like I start getting, like, you know, fucking a short end of stick of bullshit, dude. And it's just like, man, it's like, dude, what the fuck? It still kind of gets my fucking goat, because, like, you know, I see, you know, this type of shit all the fucking time, like, you know, even, like, when it comes to, like, you know, people with their pets and stuff not having really many issues, but for some reason whenever it's mine, there's always, like, somehow, like, an existential, like, problem and stuff. It's like, man, what the fuck, dude? Honestly, as this year comes to a wrap up, I am, like, pretty much, like, gone increasingly sick and tired of bullshit that humanity throws. Mainly America's, you know, bullshit, just because, like, man, we just truly suck as a fucking country and as a people here. Like, we honestly do. Like, too much of, like, you know, sucked up, you know, me generation, you know, you know, type of thing that's been transcended since the boomers, and it's just like, and it hasn't really changed that much. It really is just like the same shit, different day. Cat, sick fish, and a pet carrier now to scrub it clean later. Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta make sure they have a sanitized spot. Caracal. Aw, look at this cute little thing. Wait, what? Oh, screenshot not even. Oh, wait, never mind. It popped up. Oh, there we go. What are you doing? Is there any sound? This is on. Am I not hearing the sound? Or is there just no sound to it? I don't think so. Well, I have my Bluetooth on. That's the first thing that, you know, we watched, so it's like, uh-oh. It kind of made me a little nervous of just like, You don't even get bed, you get a couch. Dude, at least you get something. I mean, good lord. Well, that proves they're capable. Hopefully that proves that they are capable of communication beyond hissing. I mean, they don't just hiss. I mean, I never really thought that. Like, I know some people do, but those people be weird. Oh. Now for something amazing. Well, now I have a song, so I'm just gonna wait. Ninety percent of the Caracal videos I've seen are just hissing. Whoa! What was that? Oh! What was that all about? Oh! What? Oh, you know what? It's because their food and water bowl are in the kitchen. Because that's where it's been since I've been gone. Here, I should move those back. Oof.
Howdy doody, fresh and fruity, concert tootie time. Marinated minions.
Looks like still got water.
Republicans stand for greed, corruption, bigotry, and war. While Democrats pretend to feel guilty about greed, corruption, bigotry, war. Greed, corruption, bigotry, war. Greed, corruption, bigotry, war.
There we go. Oop. There we go. Third party vote writes someone in, just something different. Oh, don't tell me that it's one of these fucking things. Breaking. Bypass signs executive order bypass Congress to immediately send extra ammunition to. Fuck Biden. Fuck, dude. No, don't get me started. Don't even get me started. I didn't really watch the video, but it's like I saw a fucking video where it's like, I'm sick of, you know, this is what I'm sick of the left or some shit like that. And I guess about like gatekeeping bullshit or whatever the fuck. And it's like, Vosh, fuck you. You're like, honestly, like you and you motherfuckers who continue to do this vote blue no matter who shit are the ones who are gatekeeping. Like the honest, like utter fucking hypocrisy and goddamn smug, like fucking bullshit that they throw all the time is just ridiculous. It's not a reason why I'm just like sick of just people's shit, dude. It's like, and they wonder why, like, you know, lefties and a lot of people tend to be very fucking cynical and pessimistic. Vosh, why I left the left, my dude. Dude, honestly, I was reading a lot of the comments more than anything. Dude, some of these motherfuckers overtly are just not leftists. They're just like fucking centrist liberal motherfuckers. It's like, I literally saw ones like, this is why I identify as like center to center left, because like the left is just like too extreme and shit. I'm just like, but dude, it's like, fuck off. It's like at that point, you're not even a leftist. You're literally are just a centrist. You're like, cause you're saying it. It's like, good lord, these fucking people, dude. It's like, I mean, it really just kind of like, to me, is a slap in the face being like, oh yeah, let's push for, you know, radical leftism, my guy. And then like half of his like fucking advocacy ends up going down like, you know, for really just pushing centrist electoral shit. Especially in a goddamn primary when it's like the perfect time to fucking challenge his ass. Cause that's, you know, the point. How the left's too extreme. One of them was like, well, this whole socialist thing is a little, you know, too radical, basically, because it, you know, ain't compatible to, like, people. And it's like, then what the fuck is the point for advocating for, you know, like, I mean, that's the point. It's like, to try to, you know, make it more palatable, more normalized. It's like, holy shit, they're fucking insane. Another one is like, you know, it's like, oh, you know, this gatekeeping of how they keep writing people off just because they, you know, say why we should vote for Joe. And it's like, no, it's like, how about, you know, vote for like the, you know, best candidate in the primary when it comes to like shit, and Biden ain't even remotely close to that. So it's like, what the fuck? Again, it's a primary. So what's this? It's food.
Can you make me something with $20?
Yes, of course I can. Cashew nut, yogurt, saffron, fried onion, mango puff, chicken drumsticks.
$18.91. You're under budget, chef.
Yes, we're going to make mango chicken korma. The first step is crispy onion, roasted cashew nut, yogurt, water, and now we blend.
Alright.
Here we have the smooth paste. We're going to cook the chicken now. Some butter, ginger garlic paste, turmeric, some chili, the paste.
Dude, ginger's underrated seasoning.
The cashew nuts and the onions make the sauce thick. Our chicken drumsticks, salt, and let the chicken cook. Now let's check the chicken. Our finale, mango pulp, saffron, green cardamom, and mace. Heavy cream.
You can smell that mango, chef.
That looks delicious. Final taste. Wow. Let's make some fluffy naan. We'll have all this with your mango chicken korma. Now it's time to plate. Fresh cilantro. There you have it. Your $20 turned into delicious mango chicken korma.
Dude, that looks fire.
On my mama we live, baby.
Hey.
That shit looks fire. Jazz chance to feel misery. Yeah. Now back to the, you know, fuck, you know, Biden segment. You know, it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's, at this point, you know, there really, honestly, there isn't really much to that, you know, Biden's gonna be able to fucking redeem himself at this rate. And one thing I absolutely fucking hate is this, like, you know, oh, I'm not gonna vote for him, so you vote for Trump then. It's like, where in the fuck does this conclusion come from? It's like, no. It's like, that, huh? It honestly drives me fucking nuts with that shit. I mean, like, oh yeah, I guess, you know, if you don't do that, then no matter what, even though it's a democratic process and you fucking vote for somebody else that you would definitely prefer, that isn't Biden or Trump, obviously, it's like, nah. Now I'm voting for Nikki Haley. At this point, I just take Vermin Supreme. I literally would just ride his ass in. Trump's just gonna do the same shit, if not worse. It's just hard not to call people on both sides retards. Because they just fucking are. Like, cause, you know, like, nothing would fundamentally change. That's what Biden said, and pretty much has maintained and been very persistent with that. I mean, and frankly, like, what he's doing now, especially when it comes to Palestinian genocide, is pretty much, like on par for exactly, you know, what Trump would do. If not, yeah, like, Trump would definitely accelerate it even further. You know, so it's like, suddenly, you know, Biden's, you know, a big strong arm when it comes to, like, you know, doing heinous fucking shit like that, which we would fucking call out if, you know, Trump or any other fucking Republican was doing it, but oh no. It's just mathematical calculus when fucking Biden or any other Democrat does it. It's like, I'm so done with this shit. It's like these fuckers don't understand that the same ball dance and the same fucking rodeo don't work anymore. And it ain't gonna fucking work, and something's gonna fucking give, and they ain't gonna like the result of it. And frankly, they're gonna be the ones to blame for it. It's like, fuck. Like, I really am to a point where I am starting to have, like, genuine animosity to some of these motherfuckers. Like, seriously. It's not just out of frustration. It's actually genuine scorn and animosity. Because they don't fucking realize, like, you know, the damage, like, this same reciprocal status quo fucking bullshit continues. And while that's going on, you know, it's like, you know, people, like, get more and more stressed and struggling and fucking trying to survive, you know, end up start turning against each other instead of, you know, together. You know, and, you know, against the real fucking, you know, powers that be and shit. Why do we as leftists have to convince people center right to advocate policies that know who are not sociopaths want, especially when the evidence seems to work to keep piling up? I mean, it's like, honestly, that's kind of the existential, you know, crisis I feel when it comes to being a lefty, at least in this country. Like, I mean, because fuck. I mean, whatever left really is, like, you know, in this country really is a fucking embarrassment. And that's not over some gatekeeping shit. That's just over the fact that, like, you know, no one's, like, you know, as a lefty is willing to actually, like, put the fucking work in. It's like, you have a few of them, but, like, a few of them don't cut it. There's people out there like me trying to do the work, but fuck. You know, it's like, that only goes so far when it's just a handful that you can pick with the palm of your hand. I regard them as yeah. Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's like, good lord. Like, I mean, I really do just get, like, to the point where it honestly angers me and shit. And at least for me, it's just like, it's a justified fucking anger. And I don't know why anyone else isn't. It's like, why do you get so mad all the time? It's like, why aren't you? It's like, why aren't you pissed off? As far as I'm concerned, there every goddamn reason to be. It's like, where's the emotion? Where's the fucking, like, you know, idealism? You know, where's the fucking, like, you know, radicalism? Why does it have to be strict calculus and utilitarianism? Like, that only works, you know, if there's actual, like, you know, means to achieve that. But there isn't. It's kind of like crumbling, you know, like fucking mushy-ass bread. It's not a slight towards people who have severe mental illness, it's just people who are smarter than them. Yeah, and if anything, you know, they, I guess, silver lining, have the bliss to not have to really worry about this shit as much. So, if anything, they got, you know, the better end of the stick when it comes to that. All the time instead of thriving life. And isn't that kind of the problem? Well, I mean, because to me, it's just like, you know, that's just, you know, like, proof that the, you know, these type of people have become like full-on chicken shit conformists and have just been beaten down and just basically do the same bullshit that like their parents have done, even though despite, you know, wanting something different, you know, than like what, you know, has been fed to them by their fucking parents and from the boomer generation and shit. Because we've done all of the fucking shit that we've been like taught and raised to grow up with and shit. It's not like I haven't considered any of these things, because I have and tried to push, you know, my way through that stuff, but it don't fucking work no more. It's not like I don't want to, you know, like, have that, like, oh, you know, be able to, like, you know, have a job, to have a blah, blah, blah. It's like, everyone wants that. It's like, I mean, well, maybe not everyone, but at least, you know, like, a lot of people do. And it's not like, you know, that's something we're just like, yeah, fuck it. You know, like, a lot of us, you know, people who are young aren't just like, yeah, fuck this shit. We just don't want to work or whatever. I mean, frankly, sure, I don't. But, I mean, at least, you know, I don't want to, like, I at least want to, like, you know, work that actually has some fucking worth and meaning to it. And I think that's just what people want. And it's like, how's that hard to, like, fucking push and advocate for? Because it isn't. They really don't have the energy for anything else. I mean, I don't either. So, you know, like, I mean, I woke up today drained. I mean, a lot of it, understandably, is because I just came back from Texas the other night. Or the other morning, you know, but fuck. I mean, it's just like, you know, we all are. But at a certain, you know, but it's like, but, you know, in a way, it's like the powers that be that want it that way. They don't want you to have the energy for anything else. They don't want you to have the fucking time for any of that shit. When you have a better, you know, health to life work balance, or at least have, you know, some time on your hands, or at least, you know, time at home, you kind of start realizing, like, maybe shit is a little bad. I mean, that's what happened when the lockdowns happened in 2020. Like, when the pandemic happened, a lot of people, you know, were at home and, you know, had, like, you know, their jobs at home and, you know, and realized, oh, shit, like, you know, things could actually be a little better from this. There is a silver lining, maybe. Like, you know, if anything, I feel more productive. I feel like I actually have a life again, you know, a little bit. Like, you know, people had these realizations and shit started clicking in their head and being like, oh, wait a minute. But now that, you know, it's kind of past, now we're just, you know, back in the same drudgerous grind, and people just kind of, like, forgotten that little itch. Lockdowns didn't do shit for me. I'm not saying it did something for everybody, bro. I mean, there's plenty of people that were like, nah, planned out, this bullshit. Like, I mean, there's people who are fucking psychos trying to spread shit, you know, okay? Like, I mean, it hit people differently, you know, from all walks of life, all right? Like, I'm saying when it comes to people that, like, you know, were having work, you know, in, like, the office and shit like that, and end up having to work from home, and realizing that they had a better work-to-life balance because of that. I mean, that's a kind of a specific demographic of people, you know, that were impacted by the lockdowns and shit that I'm talking about here. Because obviously a lot of people got fucked up from it, and a lot of people kind of had, like, a, you know, a sense of, like, clarity of, like, oh shit, whoa, you know, and kind of realized that, you know, they can have a better work-life balance, and if anything, you know, have actually gone, you know, better health, you know, because of that in a way. I mean, it's, you know, like, it hit people differently and shit. I mean, honestly, like, I'd argue for me, it, you know, was a silver lining, kind of a positive for myself as well, despite being an essential worker. Which now, at this point, people have forgotten. Now we're all like, you know, lazy, entitled moochers again. That little, like, oh, you guys are heroes, essential workers. Yeah, that was short-lived. Now we're not really appreciated anymore, so thanks, America. Fucking jack-off country. What's this? I work for one of the biggest companies in the world. This is my Christmas bonus. Is that a bag? Is that straight up a bag? There better be like 1,000 something. There better be like Benjis stacked to the grill up in that fucking thing. That's not free food. That's just a bag. That's literally just some designer bag. That's it. That's not food. I mean, there better be, like, at least, like, a pretty decent-ass fucking, like, gourmet-style McDonald's meal in there on top of, like, stacked Benjis on top of Benjis, dude. Like, I want, like, 10K in that motherfucker. Like, if you could give me a bag like that, there better be some fucking money in there. Bag's still kind of nice. Yeah, but as a Christmas gift, as, like, a sense of, like, here you go for the appreciation of working here from the company, that's a little bit of an insult. I mean, at least for me. Read a description. Oh, wait, there's a description to it. The bag is made from a thick cardboard, so it'll disintegrate in the rain. It's made out of cardboard! Free cinema ticket to use in another city. Getting to the other city would cost more as opposed to just buying a cinema ticket for the city I live in. Oh my fucking god, dude. Yeah, is that kind of nice? Oh yeah, that bag is kind of nice, ain't it, Venom? Oh yeah, that swag is gonna fucking, you know, be like the... It's just gonna be the Riz of the neighborhood, bro. Oh, hell yeah. Like... I was hoping it was made out of, like, some fake-ass pleather or something. Because that's what it at least initially looked like. Like some rough-looking pleather shit, but it's honestly way worse. Oof. Again, I wonder why, more cynical lefties tend to be a thing, like me, because Jesus Christ, dude. But, you know, like, what would the utilitarian calculus, my dude, guys, do without us? Honestly, they wouldn't have content to, cream on and be like, oh, you're all just tankies, my guy. I've also noticed that, by the way, it's like, there are, like, some of these, people that, that hypocritically will say, the tanky left is, like, fucking being gatekeepy, even though they will literally gatekeep and say you're a tanky if they don't like what you agree with. Or, like, if you don't agree with him and shit. It's like, huh? It just kind of feels like it's basically like the left's version of woke at this point, with each other. It's just stupid. Because it is seriously one thing I notice. And you know what, yeah, there are people that are, like, overtly tankies that are kind of silly and ridiculous, of course. But, I mean, like, they're kind of a small group, okay? I mean, it's just, I don't think that's the, I don't really think they're a big deal. And honestly, not even worth the time. Because a lot of them are usually terminally online anyway. And that's also another issue. Like, so many of these motherfuckers are legit just terminally online at this. Like, I mean, I wonder what type of, like, fucking shock would it be, if, like, Vosh actually, like, talked to someone like me. Someone that he would roll off as, like, some terminally online tanky left bro or some shit. Even though I, been out, walk, talk, and shit. And actually, have, like, the fucking credit to back it up and shit. It'd be like, what? Because honestly, for me, it's just like, you talk a lot, buddy, but it's like, I mean, really, where in the fuck is the, like, praxis aspect of the shit, my dude? It's like, because you like to talk it a lot, but it never seems like you want to actually push it or do it yourself. Dr. Washington, I'm honestly kind of considering it. Not to show him what for or whatever the fuck, but to honestly genuinely ask these questions and be like, I mean, dude, you can't just rule out people like us because we, we do exist and we actually have reasons and valid reasons as to why we fucking have these positions. And considering it's a fucking primary, when you think that's, the best time to fucking shit on Biden and, like, push someone like Marianne or something? Because if you have the mathematical calculus to be able to overlook some shit that's wrong with Biden, then you can overlook Marianne's flaws too. So it's like, I mean, fuck, dude. It's not really him. I just like to use him as the punching bag, to be honest. I mean, like, just because he's kind of like the big name that everyone knows when it comes to the advocacy of this shit. Thing is, he's not the only one, though. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people that, push this type of, fucking idea, and it's annoying. And honestly, a lot of them are just mostly just nobodies that, watch people like this. Because they're all over, online, because they're terminally online fucks for the most part anyway. They don't actually walk the walk and shit. Cause I would honestly want to ask Vosh, just like, have you been on a strike line? I know there are strikes in Seattle. You know, it's like, I know Seattle definitely ain't like a stranger to shit like that. It's like, I mean, and if not, why don't you go find out if there is? And if there is, why don't you do an IRL stream and join them and talk to them and, you know, and walk the walk a little bit? You know, walk the line with them. I mean, cause I have. I mean, shit. Look at that. You know, it's like, I walked with them a few times, actually. I've walked with them like 3 or 4 times, you know, whenever I had spare time to, you know, hang out with them and shit. I even brought my friends. And they've never done it before, and, you know, they kind of got into it for a little bit. They're like, oh shit, this is actually kind of fun. I mean, you know, like, I mean, they were saying, it's like, oh, well, doesn't, like, you know, like, crazy shit happen sometimes? I'm just like, well, no. If anything, you don't want that to happen. What you're seeing now is actually, like, great. This is actually what you want. Just kind of chill, you know, chilling out, just kind of peaceful, and having some music, just, you know, hanging out, shooting shit, stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of what you want. You don't want things to be kind of crazy. It's not like it doesn't happen, of course, you know, because I've kind of, you know, mentioned to him, Taka, when it comes to a lot of the radical stuff that happens in labor and shit. I mean, but it's like, you know, when it comes down to the direct action and when it comes to these things, it's not like, you know, some big bombastic thing every single time. Usually it tends to be a pretty chill, peaceful affair, and that usually doesn't get a lot of headlines. Direct action is only somewhat effective, but voting is your civic duty. It should be the other way around, because honestly, that's way more accurate at this point as far as I'm concerned. Lip take detected. What, me? Well, consider him one of my rare lip takes then. Try to imagine leftists and fight pure testing gatekeeper from an outside perspective. Now I can see why most people are averse to leftism or wokeness, as they call it. I mean, honestly, yeah. No, her. Oh, okay. But yeah, and honestly, that's kind of the reason why it kind of annoys the fuck out of me. It's like, can't we like, it's not that hard to just like unite over some big broad issues that all of us as lefties agree with. Because, I don't know, like, labor seems to be a pretty big one that we all seem to have kumbaya singing along with and shit, outside of maybe a little tweaks around the edges where we might disagree with, but for the most part, all have, you know, the same agreement in unison, pretty much. Like, I mean, that seems like a very easy thing to just, like, coalesce around and just hyper-focus with. Because, I mean, if you, especially when it comes to, like, you know, the mathematical calculus to stop fascism, my dude, that would, like, that tends to help, like, a lot. Like, quite a fucking lot, actually. Like, I mean, because, you know, the more money in people's pocket and the more healthier work-to-life balance and, you know, better work conditions and shit like that tends to mean, you know, better, you know, healthier lives for those people, and thus not as likely to be as desperate and thus get radicalized, you know, into some extreme shit like fascism. Huh, shocker. I went to the riot strike in LA to hand out some power bars of water. Ended up seeing Tim and Eric there. Oh, dude, hell yeah, bro. That's some fucking good shit. Yeah, I mean, like, and that's kind of what, you know, that's kind of the fun about it. Like, you know, when you know, go to these strikes, sometimes, honestly, it ends up being fun. Like, I mean, like, that's why, you know, I like them. And that's why you know, it's not just that, but, you know, like, it, you know, like, staying in solidarity, you know, like, it makes you feel good. Makes you feel good. Because, one, you're actually doing something that, you know, helps uplift not just your own self, but, you know, everyone else besides. And, you know, you're doing some action that actually, you know, can have a better outcome for you. And it's fun. Should form an anarchist group and create the autonomous Portlandian state. Okay, let's not get too LARPy here. Hyper-focusing on labor would be great, because you'd not only get left by a lot of working class conservative centrists who aren't up to date on social issues. Yeah. And the thing is, like, you know, social issues like, you know, trans rights and things like that overlap with labor. Because, like, it is very hard, you know, for, you know, a lot of people who are trans to get, you know, trans-affirming care, you know, in this country because of how privatized it is. So it's like, you know, when it comes to, maximizing, you know, healthcare benefits in the workplace when it comes to collective bargaining and shit, that also helps him too. Even if the, you know, chucklefuck bumpkin, you know, conservative guy at your workplace might not, you know, like them for being trans or whatever, they're unintentionally and indirectly helping them, you know, by, you know, focusing side by side and trying to get better wages, conditions, and benefits and shit like that in the workplace. And if anything, I mean, that person, you know, who's like that little chucklefuck bumpkin, you know, conservative in that workplace, and that trans person in the workplace, if anything, you know, because they're co-workers, especially when it comes to, you know, walking the line, and when it comes to a picket line, I mean, they're gonna have time to chat with each other and talk, and, you know, and there's probably gonna be, you know, a chance where it's like, well, so why are you, you know, trans and stuff? You know, I hear all this stuff and shit, but you don't seem like, you know, one of that, so what is it all about? Explain this to me. You know, it's like they might be a little rough around the edge about it, but I mean, at least, you know, kind of, you know, has that seed planted and shit, because labor tends to do that, because when you're, you know, walking the line in solidarity with your fellow co-workers and shit, and with fellow workers, you tend to, you know, look at each other as your fucking comrade, basically, you know, despite whatever background, you know, that person is. Because, like, for example, if, like, some scab or, like, some cop, you know, is, you know, trying to beat up on, like, you know, one of my fellow coworkers on the walk line, and they happen to be some conservative chucklefuck, I'd still step in and, you know, fucking, you know, like, take a beating with them and shit. You know, it's like, you know, because we're walking the line together. Like, you know, an injury to one is an injury to all, right? I mean, that's, like, I mean, if anything, that does build stronger bonds, and does build more of a contact there, and being like, hey, you're actually pretty cool. And does change their minds and changes their perspective about things. And that's good. Like, you're not going to really be able to get those type of people by just dismissing them and saying, ah, well, fuck you, eh. And yeah, there's a lot of fascist and Nazi-like motherfuckers out there, and I'm one to call them out, for sure. And it does certainly exist, but, like, you know, I mean, not every single little conservative chucklefuck bumpkin's like that. A lot of them are just ignorant and don't know better. I mean, just because they're not really, you know, that educated about a lot of these things. And I don't really inherently fault them for that. Not as hateful as libs, I want to make him out to be by elevating the most extreme conservative position in the same way conservative media elevates the crazy leftist position. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's as if, like, there's a lot of hyper-sensationalism in media, and that's what gets the fucking views. Because, like, the average person isn't like this, you know, when it comes to the extreme shit. I mean, I tend to be a pretty radical leftist, but, you know, when I'm hanging out talking with people, I'm not, like, you know, fucking going, like, you know, start the revolution shit or whatever the fuck. I don't even necessarily do that here. You know, it's like, because, you know, like I said, I've walked the line. I've, you know, done the actual practice. Like, my radical leftism is been done in practice. It's something that actually can be done. And, you know, a time like this, you know, is no better time now, basically. I mean, time was like years ago, frankly, decades ago, but hey, better late than never. I know MAGA people who are pro-LGBT and pro-racial equality, and even if I might think they're misguided, they tend to hate Nazis and racists just as much as I do. And honestly, those are the type of people that just probably don't know better. And I kind of know some people like that too. Like, you know, I've had coworkers that, you know, like, that thought Trump was, like, you know, an okay president or whatever the fuck, but they're, you know, like, you know, kind of like punk leading dudes, or, you know, like, you know, hate racists, hate Nazis, shit like that, but yet, you know, it's kind of a conundrum. And the thing is, like, you know, arguably and honestly, it is kind of true, there are a lot of people like that kind of flip-flop like a fish, because they're not really that in tuned, you know, at least even if they are kind of aware that shit's fucked, and they are getting, you know, fed, you know, the shit end of the stick, like, they aren't really totally in tune to, like, you know, what, you know, the actual full-on details is of the forest and shit, you know, because he emits the forest through the trees, basically. But, you know, then they end up, you know, kind of flip-flopping around. I mean, fuck, I mean, my dad's kind of another example of this. Like, he's kind of a libertarian, you know, leaning guy, but he's definitely not, like, full-heart conservative on shit. Definitely on economic issues, but, you know, but definitely a lot more left-leaning on, you know, on social issues, for sure. And, you know, even if he's still, you know, rough around the edges, you know, on some of that stuff, I mean, but he's actually, like, an OG American-style libertarian, like, a rare breed these days. But he would flip-flop around like a fish, because, like, there's some Democratic-leaning presidents he thought were okay, and he thought there was Republican presidents that were okay, too. But also, there were some that he thought were a goofball and hated, and, you know, it's like, it's a weird conundrum. Did he vote for Reagan? He, I don't think he was old enough to vote for him yet. I'm honestly not too sure. I don't know how old, would he be old enough to vote for him at that point? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know if he was old enough to vote yet, or if he even did vote. So, I'm honestly not too sure. I know he likes Reagan. But, I mean, like I said, OG kind of like libertarian dude. Kind of a conundrum. I'm also from Southern California, so conservatives here do tend to be more centrist libertarian types. Yeah. I mean, you know, to be fair, a lot of conservatives up here in Portland as well tend to be the same way. But that's Portland, like, and around my area. Like, as soon as you go outside of, you know, more in the rural areas like Estacado, Oregon City, and shit like that, that's a whole different ballgame. Because, unfortunately, there is legitimately a fascistic Nazi presence in Oregon, and it's luckily small, but they have their spots where they hang out. And some of that is the neighboring towns. I like libertarianism theory, but it feels like it's inevitably leads to feudalism in action, or at least the American version. Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you look at, like, the actual philosophy of libertarianism, not American libertarianism, you know, but the actual philosophy of it, it does honestly, like, work in practice in a sense, because it's basically just a more broader philosophical theory that, you know, is applied with other political ideologies. Because, I mean, the whole fundamental idea of it is, you know, maximization of equality and, you know, liberty for, you know, the masses, basically, for, you know, all people. Which, that is a pretty simple summary of it. Yeah, I mean, obviously it goes more in detail to it, but that's pretty much a basic summary to it. So, it's something that, you know, it's more of like another broader incorporation with, you know, another philosophy, like, you know, libertarian socialism or shit like that. Look at Argentina if you want the consequences of libertarianism. That's just straight up fascism, bro. Like, that... Well, I don't even know what you could call what the fuck's going on down there. Like, that's... I mean, I'm just not even wanting to know what's happening over there. It's just oof land now. That's just like... That's just a whole country just going in oof mode. They're in their oof phase. Oof. Because you know shit's gonna pop off over there or something. Malay is a Malay, or however you fucking say his weird ass name. Yeah, and I know he is. Like, dude, he has that weird fucking, like, superhero outfit, or supervillain outfit, whatever the fuck it is. I mean, it's like, the dude is a nut. Like, that guy is legitimately insane. I honestly do believe he's medically insane. Like, the dude thinks that, like, he literally believes that, like, his dog is, like, ascended or some shit as like a god or something. Like, I don't even know, bro. The dude is actually just, I guarantee you, medically fucking insane. Not just medically insane, medically fucking insane. With a squeak. Because holy shit, dude. They give him props for banging his sister, a real Alabama man. Oh my god. Gross. Libertarianism in an academic sense isn't necessarily tied to capitalist socialism, but rather whatever leads to the most amount of individual freedom as I understand it. Yeah, pretty much. That's why I say it can be kind of incorporated into other ideologies and philosophies. The Kennedys, yep. Winnebago warrior. We know the real God, Zukov. Oh, yeah. In fact, where the hell did he go? I think he's just hanging out. Oh, hold on. He's probably hanging out just in the kitchen or something. Where'd he go? Where are you? Bad boy. Oh, I left my door open in my room and he fucking got into my Cheez-Its. Or, yeah. Motherfucker. He got into my snacks, you son of a bitch. Quit wagging your tail with your little shit-eating grin, you little oh my god. Good Zuzu. Fuck you. Piece of shit. Man, whatever. I can't really be that mad at him. Man, fucking troublemaker, dude. Ugh. Seems like American libertarians is based off an Iran than actual libertarians, which is odd because Iran hated libertarians. Well, don't tell that to them. Don't tell them that. They'll probably have an aneurysm. At least egoism never took off. Ideology is even worse than ANCAPs. Funny enough, I'm actually not really that familiar with it. I mean, you know, I'm kind of like a philosophy bro dude. I like to, you know, explore it sometimes. Or at least, you know, kind of the general surface level of, you know, these different ideas. But that's one I actually don't really know a bunch about. You know about it, Venice, so why don't you explain it to the class? I was tempted to maybe have a second coffee because I was kind of worn out, but you know, I'm actually pretty good. I'm not gonna have that second coffee. Basically, the philosophy of Dale Gribble. Are you trying to make it sound awesome? Dale Gribble is awesome. He's like the one conspiracy guy that, you know, I can appreciate and love. I mean, don't be insulting Dale Gribble. Don't be insulting. Don't be dissing on Rusty Shackelford. I'm probably gonna have to look this up because he's not gonna fucking. Okay. All right. Do 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 do. Google, be nice. Come on. Thank you. That's not what I want. I don't want flight tracker. Egoism. An ethical theory that treats self-interest as the foundation of morality. Here's another thing. In philosophy, egoism in theory is one that oneself is or should be the motivation and the goal of one's own action. So basically, just literally put your ego above all else. I mean, like, I guess, I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, doesn't humanity kind of do that, at least when it just comes to, like, somewhat of a self-interest in a sense of, like, hey, you know, I want to make sure that, like, you know, like, no one hurts me or, you know, injures me or tries to kill me, this and that, you know, so, because I wouldn't want to do that to someone else or whatever the fuck, like, I mean, there is kind of, like, the variation of that, I think, that we just kind of already do in practice, but I'm assuming it's not really what it means, and it's really just taking that to, like, the maximum degree, being like, nah, I'm the god of everything, fuck you. Like, you know, just a very, like, very hyper-selfish, like, entitled type of philosophy type of thing. I'm imagining it's just taking that to the ultimate extreme. If I had to guess. Wait, what's this? big stretch. Oh my god, that cat is a stretch. Stretchy kitty. That cat is a slinky. Slinky kitty. My goodness. Does it relate to the ego of the individual, the collective ego of humanity? I think, you know, the egoism is referring to specifically the individual. Someone should come up with a philosophical term for Alex Jones' philosophy, maybe schizo Down syndromeism. What the fuck? Gribbleism. Yeah, I would definitely be a believer of the philosophy of gribbleism. If you really want to, like, you know, open your third eye, then you'll go into, like, Shacklefordism. That's where, you know, you're truly ascending. I like how my dog locked himself in the laundry room again. Lovely. Just lovely. There are no big T golf girls in New Mexico. You don't know that. You don't know that, sir. There might be a few of them out there. There might just be a few. Yeah. I still got some time before I have to go to work. You know what? Let's check out that, like, MVP thing that Mike did. Because I know he uploaded that. He hasn't uploaded all of them yet. I think he only has one. Yeah, he only has one so far. Perfect. Because, you know, I want to know who the biggest scumbag is in this fucking degenerate-ass world. Oh, it's the MVP and scumbag. Oh, so it's a twofer. Nice. And you don't want a full screen from me, too, because you suck. So I was gonna do this, because it sucks. There we go. YouTube sucks. Bunch of balls. Shut on. The 9 years of this shit. Hell yeah.
Welcome to the 9th annual THR Award Show, the most prestigious award show on the internet. It is shocking to think that 2023 is almost over. This year just went by so fast, but what we do on these award shows every year is we reflect back on the year. We look at some highlights, some lowlights, and ultimately we vote on which ones were the most significant. Now,
Thanks for sharing, man. I was wondering if anyone was going to let that slide or not.
Make 4 nominations in each category, and I put it up to a vote on Twitter, YouTube, and Patreon. So, without further ado, let's get to it, because this year, we're changing it up a little bit. We're doing all of the awards in one video, because I don't think it's nice for me to bombard your feed with, like, 4 or 5 videos, when you could just get all the results in one video. So, the first category is the badass moment of 2023.
Oh,
now,
so this is just all of... Okay, cool.
There were a lot of things to consider, even though the year overall I think was bad. There were some highlights. Here are my nominations. Tucker Carlson getting fired from Fox News. Also, he was sent to cease and desist. On top of that, just happened a couple of weeks ago. Henry Kissinger died. If that's not a highlight of the year, nothing is.
Because it certainly is. I'm pretty sure I voted for that.
There's also the Ceasefire Now protests and Michaela Kavanaugh's filibuster of a gender-affirming care ban. Now, before we get to the results here, I want to give you some honorable mentions. Bethany Mandel humiliated herself while trying to describe woke on Rising after she wrote a book about woke. Mr. Beast defended his trans friend. Orcas decided to start destroying rich people's yachts. Kevin
Fucking base proletarian orcas, dude.
McCarthy was ousted. And a GOP book ban in Utah led to the Bible being banned as well, which was really, really nice to see. Now, we also had an incredible year when it comes to labor. The UAW strikes, the writers and actors strikes, all honorable mentions, if not the most badass moments, arguably alone. But
I mean, honestly, arguably for me, this is probably the biggest badass moment of the year is all these labor strikes. You know, orcas are actually dolphins. or what is it called, like cetaceans or something like that. Yeah.
Results, you all chose Tucker Carlson getting fired, with Henry Kissinger dying as the runner-up. Now, the next category is the WTF moment of 2023. This is an overly broad category that usually contains things that are disturbing, sometimes just really silly and shocking, and also sometimes things that are really dreadful. Last year, Roe v. Wade getting overturned, for example, was the biggest WTF moment, but I think that this year, given all of the terrible things that have happened, this category needs reform, and I'll explain that in a moment. So the nominations are the East Palestine train derailment, Trump's multiple indictments, the transphobic Bud Light meltdown, and of course, the Gaza genocide.
I mean, for me, I'm pretty sure I, voted Gaza genocide because that really is like the biggest what the fuck moment of the year for me. I mean, all of them are pretty big what the fuck moments, but I mean, honestly, that would probably be the biggest one for me.
Obviously, that is by far and away the biggest WTF moment for all of you, myself included. And I think that just looking at the severity of some of the nominations here, we really need to change this category altogether. We've kind of stuck with it for too long. I think there needs to be a WTF moment for less serious things, and then there needs to be just the worst moment of the year for really horrible things, Supreme Court decisions, genocides, things like that. So going forward, I absolutely intend on reforming this category, but for the most part, the Gaza genocide is by far and away the most shocking, WTF, disturbing moment of the year. And
honestly, I kind of, now I just kind of started looking at that, I'm honestly kind of surprised that I honestly thought that railroad derailment thing in East Palestine, funny how there's that and also Palestine genocide going on. It's, two totally irrelevant Palestines, the same thing. But, like, I honestly thought that happened, like, around this time last year. It's like, I mean, fuck. I mean, it's like, this year kind of did fly by.
Call it a moment is a bit of an understatement considering the fact that it's still happening. So, yeah, it wasn't even close this time. 80% on Twitter, 72% on YouTube.
Damn.
And 70% on Patreon, with the transphobic Bud Light meltdowns coming in second place.
Barely.
When it comes to the next category, we have our Shut the Fuck Up Award. This is actually a new category, and it's for people who don't necessarily rise to the level of scumbag, but they still kind of deserve their own little award in and of itself. So this includes Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Walsh, Moms for Liberty, and Richie Torres.
I mean, for me, I think I voted for Moms for Liberty because, well, or was it Marjorie Greene? Honestly, I think I forgot, but just to be honest, but I'm pretty sure it was Moms for Liberty. Because they just need to shut the fuck up.
That Marjorie Taylor Greene deserves our Shut the Fuck Up Award of 2023, with Matt Walsh coming in second place. And so those are all of the smaller categories, the TLDR categories. Those are out of the way. But now we get to what you're all really here for. This is the Scumbag Award of 2023 and the MVP Award of 2023.
Yeah.
I like to end on a positive note, so let's start off with the Scumbag Award.
But I think surprised me more than a genocide. I think what kind of surprised me is the fact that it's gone on for so long. I think the initial thing, didn't surprise me with them all, freaking out within like the, couple weeks of it happening. But after it went on for like a month, and then for like 2 months, and then like the entire summer, and then it's still going on every now and then, you still hear people bitching about it. It's like the fact that it's still on their fucking minds is like is honestly surprising to me. Like they have just not let that go, dude. Like they just have not letting it go. They have just not letting go. They just have not moved on.
Nominations are Ron DeSantis, Elon Musk, Benjamin Netanyahu, and Joe Biden. Now,
I voted for Joe Biden being the biggest scumbag.
Before we get to the results, I want to look at the precedent for this award. Last year's winner was the Supreme Court in the aftermath of them overturning Roe v. Wade. And the year before was Machinima. And
Machinima.
Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump are our only two-time winners. Now, on top of that, there were a lot of honorable mentions.
Which FMTG, if it meant fuck Venom, is that just one or all of them? Yeah, I mean, all of them. Oh, dude, god damn it. I might have to take one for the team because fuck genocide, but it's permanently. That's another caveat. Yeah, permanently. And can I get really drunk so I can at least, pretend she looks beautiful? Like, can I at least, have, like, a few shots of whiskey or something before I, before I do so? Like, I mean, can I at least do that? She's sunk. Ah, God. Okay, you know what? Like, half a bottle of whiskey. Please, like, I need, no. If it's happening, I need to be loose, dude. There ain't no way. I'm not doing that sober. Like, it's just gonna eat me like a praying mantis, dude. Yeah, like, Rose is right, dude. She's gonna be like, biting my head off like that, fucking Family Guy bit after it all. Like a fucking praying mantis, dude. Like, I'm gonna, like, if I'm taking one for the team, I need to, like, at least have some enjoyment out of it. Fuck.
Mike Johnson, Donald Trump, and you could make the case for any of these folks, right? But Mike Johnson just got into power. He's going to have much more time to actually get a nomination next year. Donald Trump, well, he's out of power currently, so he hasn't been able to do as much damage, even though he still is very much doing damage. So it's difficult.
The amount of alcohol you would need to consume would be fatal. Well, I mean, if I'm going to get eaten by her like a praying mantis, then I might as well, I might as well go out on my terms, Like, if I'm going to go out, I'm going out on my terms. You know what I'm saying?
I think that these are honorable mentions that should be mentioned. But regardless, let's go ahead and get to the results.
You said make out, not fuck. And by then you get... Yeah, wait, Venom, well, like, hold on. Yeah, now we're starting to get a little, like, okay, now I think we're delving into your fantasy, not ours. You put forth the hypothetical, and now you're just, like, projecting, okay? Now you're just projecting your kink on us.
Biggest scumbag of 2023, according to Humanist Report viewers, without question,
Joe Biden, right?
Is Benjamin Netanyahu.
Well, I'm actually kind of, not surprised. Actually, fair enough, because the reason why I say he's the biggest scumbag, for me personally, is because who's enabling the son of a bitch?
The Israeli Prime Minister with 84% on Twitter, 71% on YouTube, and 83% on Patreon. All
damn. Oh, I was like the tiniest of the tiny minority in that vote.
Being
whatever.
Unequivocally that this man is the biggest scumbag of 2023, and the runner-up was Elon Musk. But let's get to some comments. Tim on Patreon says, Bibi is the obvious shoo-in, but honorable mention goes to DeSantis, in my opinion, for being so openly bigoted and enacting laws just to make people suffer. Adam on Patreon writes, all of them are fascists, but one is directly
Dan Blips can't vote for Biden.
responsible for a genocide. Period.
I know.
Agent of Chaos on Patreon writes, Javier Milei, who recently won the Argentine presidential election, deserves a dishonorable mention. Absolutely agree with that.
I mean, yeah, that guy's literally medically insane.
JVD8 on YouTube says, Netanyahu's the one who has proportionally caused the most death and suffering in the shortest amount of time, so my vote goes to him. Corin on YouTube writes, as a trans woman, it's extremely tempting to say DeSantis as he more directly impacts me, but my vote has to go towards Netanyahu because anyone directly responsible for a genocide has to earn the title. Yeah. SpongeBrain on YouTube writes, I would have said DeSantis if Netanyahu wasn't straight up doing a genocide. And now, it's the most important moment, the MVP award. Now, fun fact about the MVP award. It has been named the Bernie Sanders Award because he has won literally every single year since this award show began. And that's not hyperbole. So,
I mean, Jesus, it really, yeah.
He actually, spoiler alert, does not win this year. So we've got a bit of a combo breaker and a new MVP.
Oh, shit.
And there's a reason for that.
Breaking the goddamn chain.
Because Bernie wasn't nominated, so he didn't have the chance to win. And I never foresaw a year when I wouldn't nominate Bernie Sanders for being MVP, but I just couldn't do it because he refuses to call for a ceasefire. Still, he is better on that issue than...
Most surprising thing about genocide is that people who call themselves leftists can't stop defending supporting a fascist leader who's funding genocide with their tax dollars. And then we'll make an excuse to, why I, vote for him is the lesser of two evils by saying that the other guy who would literally do the exact same thing, is somehow way fundamentally worse, even though he's literally going to do the same shit. So it's like, you're getting two sides of the same coin here. So, like, I mean, that isn't really exactly the argument that, that is really sound and solid as it sounds like there, guys. So, have fun with that.
Other senators, but the bar is so low. And when you can't do the bare minimum, I can't say you're MVP. You could do better. So hopefully he gets back on the nominations list next year, but he's going to have to work really hard to do that because he fucked up. But having
Don't fuck up.
said that, though, we do have some new candidates. And my nominations include Zoe Zephyr, who is a trans lawmaker who spoke truth to power in her state and was punished for it.
Dude, I love the fucking epic music. Dun,
There's
dun,
also
dun,
Michaela
dun, dun.
Kavanaugh in Nebraska, who led a months-long filibuster to stop a ban on gender-affirming care. And guess what? Even though she wasn't successful in the end, she proved that you don't have to lay down and die if you're a Democrat. She set a blueprint as to how other Democrats should respond to this type of legislation. On top of that, we have Sean Fain,
Yeah.
W president.
Now this is the guy. This is the guy I voted for. I'm like, this is my MVP right here, my
He
boy.
deserves this title, but he is absolutely one of the most important people in the country right now with regard to the labor movement. And my last nomination is Rashida Tlaib. She's a Palestinian American.
Honestly, like, if it, you know, what, maybe kind of like go back and forth for a little bit, because I will admit I was either gonna vote for her or Fain, and I kind of settled a Fain in my mind, but it, you know, like, she's a very close runner-up for me. So if honestly, if she gets the MVP, she absolutely deserves it.
To speak truth to power, and she was also punished for it. And what she's saying is incredibly important. Now, before we get to the results, there's
And, you know, just like, you know, with the other Congresswoman that he was mentioning earlier, I think also kind of sets, like, a foundation of what, like, an actual good Democrat would be, you know, doing right now. Like, same with Omar as well. Like, I mean, for whatever, like, you know, flaws that, you know, they might have had in the past and even concurrently now, it's like, I mean, they are, like, 10,000 times way better than any of them in the House right now. Like, just fundamentally by a fucking country mile.
mentions that I want to go over here. The other is kind of like a duo, Justin Jones and Justin Pearson of Tennessee, who were expelled and then subsequently reelected after.
Oh, yeah, I remember those dudes. Dude, J&J, dude, I love those guys. Dude, those guys were fucking badass, dude. Dude, Immaculate Drip, dude, the Riz on point. Dude, they are fucking awesome, dude. Those, like, yeah, I didn't really forget about it too much, but they were kind of, like, on the back of my mind wondering what, you know, what they're doing right now. But, like, those dudes are badasses. I remember that shit happening earlier in the year where they got, like, pretty much ousted, and then, like, the whole country just, like, shat on the entire state, and they're like, never mind. Oops.
in their state accused them.
I really hope that they, you know, become big rising stars, because they got the spunk for it, dude. I mean, they're fucking awesome.
An insurrection because they decided to stand in solidarity with gun rights activists, or gun control activists, rather. I think that they really showed, like Zoe Zephyr and Michaela Kavanaugh, that you can actually fight. You don't have to just lie down and get steamrolled just because you're in the minority. And I think that these are two leaders in this country that are going to do really big things, so they deserve an honorable mention. Other individuals that deserve honorable mentions: Tortuguita, Stop Cop City activist; Rafat Al-Arir, a Palestinian poet beloved by a lot of people, who was killed by the IDF. Just horrible situation. So I think that these people deserve just their names to be brought up in any conversation about 2023, because they really did have a lasting impact. All of these people did. But with that,
I mean, especially with the genocide going on, there's been like a lot of like MVP type of motherfuckers, you know, that have been like, you know, pushing and fighting the good fight when it comes to that type of stuff. That, I mean, it's kind of hard to, like, you know, name all of them, because there really are a lot of them.
these are the results. The winner, and the Humanist Reports, and
If it, honestly, I'd be surprised if it isn't Sean Fain or Rashida. Like, if it ain't one of those two, I would be kind of shocked.
of 2023 is Rashida Tlaib.
Hey!
With 67% on Twitter, 63% on YouTube, and 55% on Patreon, all agreeing she's this year's most valuable person.
Yep. And, you know, like I said, I voted for Fain myself, but, you know, I kind of felt like, you know, she was going to get, when I saw the results when I voted on YouTube, I'm like, yeah, she definitely deserves it.
And the runner-up was Sean.
Because she was like, you know, like between, you know, like Fain and Rashida, like when it comes to like the MVP in this case, they're literally like neck and neck. Like, I mean, both of them are like badasses in their own right.
33% on Twitter, 25% on YouTube, and 34% on Patreon. Now let's get to the comments. Forrest Miller on Twitter had a hard time choosing this year's MVP, but ultimately went with Rashida Tlaib. Yeah, this one was really tough. Alex Kawa on Twitter says, MVP is undoubtedly Sean Fain. He has shown the true potential of what the new labor movement can and will accomplish in the years to come. And so many union organizers will be inspired by him. Rashida Tlaib is a close second, given her being a lone reasonable voice on Israel-Palestine. Mike on Patreon writes, all are good, but I will say Rashida, since even with AIPAC and their goons barreling down on her, she is doing all she can to find a ceasefire and hold Israel accountable for their actions. If only the other Dems had a spine instead of jelly to stand against this right-wing government.
Jelly.
Scott on YouTube writes, I went with Fain. As a UAW member, I know some people were disappointed with the contracts, but you're not going to make up 40 years of concessions in one contract, and it was a very good contract. Also, what Fain represents moving forward could become the largest labor movement in history, especially if he can pull off unionizing half of auto workers he is targeting. Zello on YouTube writes, Zoe Zephyr, I respect her so much being a trans woman myself. Joseph O on YouTube says, I want to...
He forgot to put this guy's comment up.
Rashida Tlaib standing up against
Mike, you're kind of slacking. There's been a lot of videos where you seem to forget to add things.
The Palestinian people and not backing down even though her colleagues voted to censure her. But I do want to add that Zoe Zephyr came in close second. I would love to see more of her and hope she can expand her political career on a national level like a House or Senate seat. That'd be amazing. So there you have it. Another year, another award show down. If you didn't get a chance to participate in this, comment down below. Let me know who's your MVP. Who is your scumbag? What you think I should do to make the categories more representative of the events throughout the year? Let me know, especially your MVP and scumbag, because I do think that there is an argument to be made. I personally support Rashida Tlaib, but I think there is definitely an argument to be made for Sean Fain or someone else perhaps. So,
I mean, for me, I would say Sean Fain, but like I said, it's kind of neck and neck between Rashida and him. Because both of them, like I said, are kind of badasses in their own right. And when it comes to scumbag, I mean, frankly, it's literally just the same thing, neck and neck between, Netanyahu and Biden in my mind. Because, I mean, they kind of go in hand when it comes to the genocide. So, I mean, like, I guess, the one who's directly outright, the one doing it is Netanyahu. So I guess, ultimately, yeah, him. But, I mean, there could be a dude who could stop that, and ultimately is the bigger scumbag in my mind for just, like, giving him more guns, ammo, and just, like, green light to just do whatever the fuck. So, I don't know. So, like, for me, especially with, like, some of the latest on that one, it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely more of a bigger scumbag at this point. Because at this point, he's just, like, patting him on the back, being like, good job. Nice. And when pushing outside, if only just because I don't expect to take it in control, let's try to do so. I mean, when it comes to like certain aspects, sure, but I mean, there's going to be differences. And the thing is, like, all in all, I mean, it's just going to be the same shit, different day, and I guarantee there's probably going to be an element where, they might do a cut here and there too. I mean, like Biden isn't necessarily, like a stranger to things like that. Definitely a lot more milquetoast with it, I suppose. Man, it's just like, I love how the first half of the series, like, well, it ain't that bad. I could kind of understand the, calculus argument. Then this genocide happened. It's like, no, it's just, nope. Did a full takeaway, I guess. But does it, I mean, does that really have to be the fucking standard at this point? Like, even if, like, it's the expected reality, it's like, I mean, does this really have to, just what we have to accept? Because, just, oof. Oof, I say. That goofy pooch. Man, 3-0 already. Jesus Christ. Well. Now it's time for me to probably get to work at this point. First day back after a week. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ugh. Oh, boy. Hopefully it's gonna be a chill day. Back to the same shit, different day. disaster. I was there earlier. It's not. So at least that's good. But anywho, well, let's call it good for now, and you know, maybe do a stream, you know, at the bar, or if not, probably, you know, be back over here doing our shit. So anyway, but it's